like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. They're the three big players. None of them should be able to throw money at a third party to go and say, no, your shit is mine now and you can't play anywhere else. That's anti-consumer. That being said,
little asshole.
That being said, Sony, you reap what you sow.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com. I'm your host, Perch 305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
I should go back.
Was that a strong beat to step to?
Stop, shut up. Oh my God. Hi, my teeth hurt. I can't with you.
Listen, you agreed to do this podcast today,
yes,
even though you are 4 times less wise than you were beforehand.
Then
Therefore, I am not responsible to anything. I am not responsible for anything that happens to you because, as they say in certain circles, you were asking for it.
Yeah, it's fine, but you already said it yourself. I'm less wise. Why the fuck you think I'm not going to do this fucking podcast?
Listen, whatever. You jumped in on this. You asked for this. You got it. Toyota.
Shut up. That's not your slogan.
Shout out to my folks that are old enough to understand what the hell I just said.
No, yeah. But you know what, Willie? Yeah, I've been gone for a hot minute. Took out all 4 wisdom teeth. Did 1 cavity, and that shit was hell on wheels from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a little bit of yesterday, and today. Yeah, all this right now is on fire. Like
what he's trying to say is that he can't bite into a burger right now. And that makes him angry, which makes this podcast better.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much on the edge right now. So let's get started. And there's a lot of things we got to bring up, Willie. And one of them is right now Xbox versus PlayStation and the fight for Call of Duty. Like, I thought this was a done deal. I thought Xbox was not going to do nothing with Call of Duty. I thought they're going to let it be. You know, they were purchasing this fucking Activision for $68.7 billion. And Microsoft is pretty much saying that they hope to close the deal by 2023. But what's going on here, Willie? What is it the fact that Call of Duty is back on this plate? Because I thought there was like a neutral ground between. They're like, no, we're not gonna fucking take it away from you. And now it looks like they might. What's going on here? Talk to me.
Okay, so this is the deal that keeps on dealing. Activision Blizzard got an offer from Microsoft. Hey, we're gonna buy you for $68.7 billion. Activision Blizzard said, okay. But it's not that simple. An acquisition this big requires regulators to jump in and see whether or not it's cool. To give you an example, remember when Disney offered to buy Fox?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. The regulators stepped in. They had some issues. And so, the deal had to be modified a little bit. Disney had to divest some of the Fox Sports channels and a couple other things to other people. And the regulator said, okay. And the deal was done. That's the same thing that's happening here. The problem is, Microsoft and Activision are okay with the deal. Sony keeps bitching.
Nothing new.
They have a valid reason for bitching. Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard means that they are the owners of Call of Duty. Listen, I don't like Call of Duty. I don't. I suck at the game, and, I'm biased. But I have to recognize that it is the hugest game on the planet not owned by Rockstar.
He's not wrong.
And so whoever controls Call of Duty controls a lot of mind share in the gaming world. Sony's problem is Microsoft owning Call of Duty means they can at some point decide, you know what? No, Sony, you can't have Call of Duty anymore. And they're arguing that that's anti-competitive. Now, the governments, the regulators in Saudi Arabia and Brazil have already said, you know what? The deal's fine. Go as it is. The fight is with the Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, in the UK, who is deliberating over this quite a bit because they're trying to make sure, they're trying to see whether or not Microsoft actually holds a competitive advantage by owning Call of Duty. Here's what I have to say to this. Sony was not bitching when they purchased with a deal with Microsoft. They threw money at Activision Blizzard to say, hey, you guys get benefits 2 weeks before Microsoft. Sony was okay then.
Of course.
I'm not saying that this deal is good for anybody because, yes, Microsoft could, in fact, decide 3 years from now to say, you know what? You want to play this game? You have to be on Game Pass.
God,
or you have to own an Xbox. Dude. At the same time, right now, right now, because the deal's not final, right now, if you want to get a weak advantage on people in Call of Duty, you have to be on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's true.
In my eyes, as a regular layman, Sony's crying because they can't pay their way to an advantage anymore. Because someone with a bigger wallet decided to throw more money. This is outside of whether or not this is good for gamers. I think that if Microsoft were to go and paywall this to have that you have to have a Microsoft console or service in order to play Call of Duty, that's a bad thing. There should not be one person in charge of such a big IP. Like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they're the three big players. None of them should be able to throw money at a third party to go and say, no, your shit is mine now and you can't play anywhere else. That's anti-consumer. That being said, Sony, you reap what you sow. You used your ability to negotiate favorable terms for yourself to get an advantage with Call of Duty, just like you did with Spider-Man, and just like you've done many times before. This is the dog coming to bite your ass. Shut the fuck up. Deal with it. That's my opinion.
All right. Well, you see, that's your opinion, and I'm dying to know what everybody else thinks about this. To me, personally, it is what it is. It's business. Nothing personal, just fucking business. But it's getting personal because they're fucking with other people's money. And a game that everybody almost majority plays on PlayStation. But still, this is something that I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. Now, there's more things to this whole thing with Xbox, which is a rare opportunity to see a huge money spent to keep Game Pass. PS Plus is bursting with games. What's going on here? Like, what?
This is extremely interesting.
What's going on?
We've had this conversation in comments before where people were doubting that Microsoft is making money off of Game Pass.
All right.
And that PS Plus couldn't compete. I always figured there has to be a lot of money involved in getting exclusives or getting these games for, certain people to play. Think about it. The PS Plus games that are available to you. Sony has to pay for exclusivity to be able to offer it for free to their subscribers. Yeah. And same thing for Game Pass. Microsoft has to shell out money in order to make games available on their service. Sony and Microsoft have never talked about this. Never. Because the amount of money that they have to spend, that's nobody's business. Well, the problem is that another developer, a third party, gave some insight into how much money is spent getting games on the platforms. And that company you've never heard of in your entire lives, Snail Games.
What?
Exactly. You've never heard of them, but you've heard of the game that they made.
What game?
Ark Survival Evolved.
Really?
They are the developers of Ark Survival Evolved. And because they're going to go IPO, they're going to do their initial public offering to be, to sell shares. They had to divulge all the money that they've received recently. Mind you, this is a game that released in 2017, and it's still extremely popular, enough so that they got Vicente Petrolio to be in it. Yes, Vin Diesel in Spanish. Yes. Ha, ha, ha.
Yes, haha.
Okay, but they had to make filings to the SEC where they divulged information about where they've been getting money from. And this thing's been out for a while. This information has been out for a while. But it took a YouTuber to go through the information to find the juicy stuff. The YouTuber's name is called GP. Okay? And it took about almost a month for this to be found. Ark Survival Evolved received $3.5 million from Sony to be a featured game on PS Plus. That's not chump change.
No, that's money.
And, well, Microsoft went ahead and said, okay, we want to get in that too. According to the filing, Snail Games received $2.5 million from Microsoft. And they already got an advance of $2.3 million for Ark 2, just so they can be in Game Pass. That's a lot of money.
I'm telling you, it's a lot.
And the Kotaku article that we're getting this from put things in perspective. Cooking Simulator, which is a popular game, Microsoft paid $600,000 to have it on Game Pass. Epic Games spent $1.4 million to offer Subnautica for its subscribers, because Epic Games has free games every week. There's a lot of money in here. Enough so that in a side story, because I know this question's been debated in our comments, Xbox Game Pass reported for 2021, Game Pass made $2.9 billion.
God, I would love to be fucking making that much money right about now.
$2.9 billion just in subscriptions to Game Pass.
That's awesome money right there.
I don't know what their expenses are for running Game Pass. There's a lot of servers involved. I'm not going to sit there and get into the whole debate on, how much server costs are. But I will say that Microsoft owns the servers, and they own the software that runs the servers because they made it. I'm going to go and say that they made a pretty decent profit.
Yeah,
without having to
go a little something there.
Without having to go into their 10K filings, I can go and say that Xbox is doing pretty good, despite the fact that nobody talks about buying their consoles.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous, dude.
And that's the reason why the fight between Xbox and PlayStation over Call of Duty is so important. If Xbox Game Pass pulled in $2.9 billion last year, and you got to figure they're going to pull at least that amount this year, how much would it pull in if all of a sudden they decided, you know what, Call of Duty is ours, get our service and you can play it.
Coño. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody will sell their PS5s or whatever just to jump on the Xbox bandwagon and play that, or play it on PC.
And that's why Sony is fighting so hard. But I go back to what I said before. It was perfectly fine when Sony was paying for the advantage. Why is it a problem now when Xbox is doing it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see what happens, dude. I mean, fuck. Like, even with that type of story, dude, it's pretty hard to even sit there and think that right now, let's say Xbox can pretty much turn the tables really quick on PlayStation and really fuck them up in the long run, and pretty much leave PlayStation hot and just there with nothing. Because yeah, you'll have all these other games like Final Fantasy and all that good shit, but everybody comes to PlayStation to play Call of Duty, technically. A lot of people.
I mean, look, I don't play it, but I'm not the majority of gamers.
Yeah.
Call of Duty breaks sales records every year for a reason. Not break sales records, but sells the most that year. I should say it like that.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is the top selling title every year it comes out. Because Sony pays for the advantage of play early when you have Sony, when you have PlayStation. Sony PlayStation owners have always had the benefit. They had the advantage of getting everything before Xbox, even before PC.
Yeah.
Turn the tables around, and now Sony's crying. Cry me a fucking river. Justin Timberlake is singing over you.
Some sad shit. It's kind of dark. But I mean, I feel bad for PlayStation, man, because if that's all they're depending on, like, that's their bread and butter right there. That's pretty much why they say never put all your eggs in one basket. This just happened. But we don't know what's the outcome. We're just gonna see what happens now from here on out. And whatever Xbox decides. So yeah, that's about it. But let's continue.
It's not about what Microsoft decides. It's what the regulators decide. Let the regulators regulate.
Yeah.
I'm now imagining somebody in the CMA just jumping out in the middle of a hearing and saying, "Regulators, out!"
Yep. I mean, I'm fuck. I wish there was no such thing as copyright laws, man. I would have been playing that shit right now. But still, we have to continue on, Willie, because this article here is all you, because it's 2 unreleased NES titles that are up for auction on eBay. I didn't even know there was 2 left. I had no idea. I thought all the hittens, all the unreleased and all shit has been through, but apparently there's been 2 that nobody's seen in the light of day. And one of them is called, the first is the Battlegrounds of Napoleon, which is a strategy game. The other one, I couldn't even fucking make it out. But Willie, what's up with this? Like, why all suddenly now there's an auction for 2 games on eBay? Like, what? Why?
Okay.
Why?
There's a story in 2 parts.
Okay.
The first part is that someone came across. I'm gonna say someone. I didn't go and check out the listings because I don't have that kind of money. But there are 2 unreleased games. One is a strategy game that was essentially ready for release, called Battlegrounds of Napoleon. It was a strategy game. The other one is a demo for the Power Glove made by Rare.
So rad.
I mean, you can play that, right?
Yeah.
Play it!
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's nothing like the classic kids. You guys will never know what the Wizard was about, or ever know.
They know exactly what it was about. It was about fucking Super Mario 3.
It was so awesome. Please stop.
No,
God,
say it. It was so rad.
It was so rad.
Anyway, this is not unprecedented. Years ago, someone unearthed what were prototypes for a game that was ready for release, Earthbound.
Okay.
The NES version of Earthbound, because it was called Mother in Japan. The original was on the NES. There was a localized version ready for release. They didn't release it because the Super NES was about to come out. But there are at least 6 copies of that game in cartridge form that were released. That was dumped into ROMs for people to have to be able to play. That's happened for a lot of other games. These are games that have never been dumped, meaning that no one's ever put it in a reader to save it as a ROM file to then release for other people to play.
Mm-hmm.
For people who love game preservation, that's me, by the way, it's important that someone buys this and immediately dumps the ROMs so that people can experience the games, because games should be experienced, games should be played. It's not for some stupid, a totally isolated collector to go and hoard like if it was gold and his name was Smaug. People should be able to play these games. And so there are pleadings out there. There are people that are tweeting, listen, if y'all got money and you believe in game preservation, please buy these games. You know what? I'm going to go and look for it right now, live, while we're talking.
Yeah.
While
you're doing that, I'm just going to say it's stupid to preserve a game where you will never know what it has, what it does, what can you get out of it to play. Games are meant to be played. I don't know this whole fucking thing about preserving a game, especially a Nintendo game that fucking you can do so much with that shit and have fun with it, and then afterwards pass it on to your children or whatever.
Like I said, I 100% believe that a game should be played.
Yes.
If someone made a game, the least you can do is enjoy their game.
Yeah, I agree.
For whatever reason, companies don't go and release these games. They should still be part of the historical record. And I'm on eBay right now. With 4 days and 15 hours left, there are 14 bids on Battlefield of Napoleon. And it's at $5,200.
Yeah.
My hope is that the person that wins it will either dump it themselves or allow someone to dump it for them. That's my hope.
Wishful thinking. You're almost becoming me.
You're right. You're right, because someone's going to go and send this to fucking Wada Games and fucking slab it because they want to make millions of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. I was tell you, you're wishful thinking, Willie. I'm sorry. You're becoming
I'm a wishful guy. No,
you're
optimist. You're Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I know. So stop taking my job.
I don't know. I'm whatever the hopeful version of Optimus Prime is.
Optimistic Prime?
I don't know. Bumble Hopeful Bee?
There we go. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that, Willie. You could be Bumble Hopeful Bee and Optimistic Prime over here. We're here to make your life positively awesome.
Optimus Prime is going to sit there and say, "You can do it, Bumble Hopeful Bee." And Megatron shoots me in the face. And by Megatron, I mean the fact that I'm poor.
Ah, yes. Well, we always get hit by Megatron, so that's yeah. Fuck it.
Megatron is real life. Whenever your shit's going too well and you get smacked down, that's Megatron.
Yeah. Now, Willie or Bumble Hopeful Bee,
not gonna stick, is it?
No, it's not gonna stick.
No.
So, okay, enough of this game, dude. Let's talk about what's going on, because there's a lot of movie news as well. So we already got reports that Spider-Man 4 is targeting a 2024 release. But now, Willie, we've been seeing a lot of articles coming out about a lot of movies being pretty much being pulled back, from Blade to Guardians. I'm not even sure of Guardians, but a bunch of other movies are being held back to like a different year. a different time and all that stuff because of a bunch of shit's going on. What makes Spider-Man 4 like not in this pattern of being held back? Like, why is it going to be released in 2024?
I don't know. This is Sony.
But isn't Sony
Of
still part of,
course.
well, Spider-Man 4
No,
is still part
Sony,
of Marvel,
Sony, yeah. No, I mean, they still have the arrangement where Spider-Man can be in the MCU. Yes.
though. Okay.
But this is Sony. The Spider-Verse is their thing. Of course, they want a Spider-Man 4 because they want the movie to make actual bucks, not more bucks.
Stop it. I knew you were going to that shit.
I am not going to stop it because Morbius was Morbius. And as much as they want morbing time to be a thing, it's going to be a thing for all the people making fun of the fact that Morbius didn't make actual bucks.
No, it didn't. It actually
Sony-
retracted the bucks.
Sony's in an interesting position. They
Okay.
want to sell. Sony desperately want to sell their studio, their movie studio, because it is a frigging anchor around their necks.
Hmm.
The problem is that if they sell their most bankable asset, which is Spider-Man, goes back to Marvel. Therefore, the only thing that people can look forward to if they buy Sony is Minions.
Wow.
Unless you wanna go in emoji movie to this bitch.
Okay, no, stop. No, sir.
So Sony, their only bargaining chip is the one thing that they'll lose the moment they're sold. They have to write this bitch for all it's worth. Of course, they're going to make a
Technically.
Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man No Way Home made them $1 billion. Well, no, it didn't make them. I mean, they got money out of it, but they got to split
yeah.
it with Marvel. But the
course they
movie
do.
made over $1 billion. And so, of course, they want to make a Spider-Man 4. Now that the movie has been rebooted, and now Spider-Man can have more of a recognizable canon,
Yeah.
because and people kept bitching about MJ and Ned and fuck all of y'all, they were great.
They were.
But the whole thing of Spider-Man being alone and maybe he'll find actual Mary Jane, okay, that can be done now. But of course they're going to. They're going to try to make this movie as soon as possible because they want to make money as soon as possible.
Yeah, true. And you know what? Yeah, but either way, they're talking about whole making money and shit. I'm gonna watch this shit. I'm actually become a fanatic about this whole Spider-Man shit, and I like it. I really do.
No. I'm going to watch
Want to see
it
a proper Venom.
because I'm not as excited because I haven't seen a goddamn thing about it first.
True. But,
And no, if they throw Venom in there, that'll be interesting.
yes, that indeed will be interesting because I need to see how this is going to play out with Venom in the loop.
Let's see.
But fine,
And
speaking of-
Morbius.
Oh, shut up. Morbius can stay back
Listen,
there. He's not
listen.
worthy.
If
What?
Spider-Man's involved, then it will be more better.
Oh, I hate you. My teeth hurt now because of this shit. You know what? Let's continue on. I hate you. So Dwayne Johnson promises a Black Adam versus Superman film is in the whole point. It's gonna happen supposedly. Dwayne Johnson controls movies, I guess, or WB, whoever he does, because he promises all this shit happening. He promised that he was going to be Black Adam. We got Black Adam. He promised, I think, some point along the line that he's going to fight Shazam. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And now he's promising that we're going to be getting a him and Superman film happening. I'm not going to doubt it, dude. I think The Rock has the chops to make it happen. Am I right or am I right?
I mean, Dr. Dwayne Johnson has the charisma and the pull to be able to make something like this happen.
He can. And and you know what? And if he does make it happen, I want to see it. I will love to see a proper Black Adam fighting Superman, but I will love to see Black Adam fight Shazam before him fighting Superman. And
How
that's
about
just my
this?
opinion. Talk to me.
I want to see a good Black Adam movie
Yeah.
followed by good movies that integrate Black Adam into what is left of the DCEU.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he
I
can
can work
fight Superman, and I would love for Henry Cavill to get the role back
Yes.
because that's still in flux. Although we did see a recent little clip where Black Adam fries the face of a picture of Superman or poster of Superman.
Okay.
So maybe
Possibly.
I just want it to happen. Let it happen.
Okay. Now, hear me out, Willie. Hear me out about this part.
Yes.
Being that you want to have that happen, how would you felt back in the 80s? Tim Burton's Batman was played by Pierce Brosnan.
I wouldn't be mad.
I don't know, but I feel that he is so English that I think he would have just been perfect as a Bruce Wayne. I don't know if I would like to see him as Batman.
Okay. First of all, this is because he was on Jimmy Fallon.
Well, no, but he's
He
Scottish,
talked
right?
about he is Scottish.
Yeah.
He was on Jimmy Fallon, and he
Yeah.
talked about his failed audition for the role.
Why?
I
What the
want
fuck
you
did
to
he do?
remember that back in the 80s, Michael Keaton was the last person that people expected to be Batman. Remember that Michael Keaton, prior to this movie, was not an extremely serious actor.
Okay.
He was Beetlejuice.
Yes.
From
Awesome.
going from Beetlejuice to Bruce Wayne, same director by the way, was a huge stretch for people. Then again, back in the 80s, if you told people that Tom Hanks would win Oscar roles in dramatic actor roles, you'd be like, the bachelor party guy? The Joe
toy
versus
guy?
the volcano guy? The splash guy?
Yeah.
He was not seen as Batman back then. We now revere him. But yeah, Pierce Brosnan would have been a better choice to most people back then. The thing was that
Interesting.
Pierce Brosnan was also people's choice for James Bond.
Which he did very well as well.
And well, he talked about his whole failed tryout for Batman.
Mhm.
And I'm going to quote him right now. I remember saying something stupid to Tim Burton. I said, I can't understand any man who would wear his underpants outside his trousers. But there you go. The best man got the job. And, Dr. Fate and I were meant to meet on the same page, I think, because he is Dr. Fate in the Black Adam movie.
Which I can't wait to see
I'm
as
going to go out on a limb and say that he is a better choice as Dr. Fate than he would have been as Bruce Wayne, even back then. Let's go
well.
back.
I agree.
Let's go back.
Go.
You're in the 1980s.
Yes.
You're wearing your suspenders and your belt because you don't know things, and you're listening to your Duran Duran and drinking your new Coke. Who would
Wow.
you envision as Batman back then?
No, I mean,
Don't say Michael Keaton because you're a fucking liar if you say that.
no, I would never. I was actually trying to think of like actors back then. Like I would have been like, okay, maybe him or I mean, look, Stallone for sure, not in the picture. I would
No.
not like to see him as either Batman or even Bruce Wayne. That's no.
I don't want to see him in the DC universe.
Yeah. And let me see. Chuck Norris, also.
Fuck him.
I'm telling you, man.
Fuck him.
I'm
Listen,
not
he is the stupidest meme on the face of the fucking earth. He was a karate champion a couple of times. And he did a really good World of Warcraft commercial once. Please play it.
Chuck Norris is a hunter, but Chuck Norris does not hunt. Hunting would imply the possibility of failure.
I'm not even angry. I'm not angry. But still, the fact that those are the kind of actors I can think about, because you still have Schwarzenegger. I was gonna say Steven Seagal, but he was not in the picture.
No,
Until like
I mean
the
he was late 80s, and he would not be a good Batman.
No.
I'm gonna throw 3 names at you.
Michael, no, not Kevin Costner. Maybe?
No. Batman never sleeps. Everybody knows that. That's the sleepiest motherfucker on the planet. I'm gonna throw 3 names at you.
Give me 3 names.
And again, think 1980s.
I'm thinking 1980s. Go ahead.
Okay. Michael Douglas.
Okay.
I can see Michael Douglas as Batman.
Yeah. And a hard ass Bruce Wayne.
And a more sophisticated Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But he could be a pretty hard ass Batman.
Okay.
You want to go a little younger?
Let's go. His son?
Tom Cruise.
Oof. God. All right. That was a tough one. And that was
a tough one because the problem is
a few minutes later.
Because you're thinking Top Gun Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking about Risky Business Tom Cruise.
Okay. Remember that Top Gun was the biggest thing he was ever in?
Yes.
Also remember that he did his proper star turn afterwards, was Born on the 4th of July.
All right. Okay. You know what? You got me there. All right, fine. Who's number 3?
I'm going to throw a third one at you. And this one is completely from left field.
Go.
And I know this is going to hurt you.
Go.
Because you're not going to know the name until I give you the reference. Anthony Edwards.
Who's that?
Remember we talked about Top Gun?
Yeah.
Remember Goose?
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
Lord.
I told you. It wouldn't make any sense. It really wouldn't. But straight out of left field.
No, really left field. Like over there.
Like you have the other actors, Andrew McCarthy, Anthony Michael Hall. Like you have a lot of people, even young. Okay. Imagine young Robert Downey Jr.
Oof.
I'm talking about less than zero / Weird Science Robert Downey Jr.
Oof. Nah, dude, that's crazy.
Okay, but can you imagine it?
Hard too, but
like,
yeah.
You see him as Tony Stark now. Of
course.
He was an absolute teenage heartthrob in the 80s before he fucked all his shit up with drugs.
Yeah, and alcohol shit. Yeah.
Yes. Imagine him doing his Batman turn. Can you imagine a world where Robert Downey Jr. was Batman and therefore he couldn't possibly be Iron Man?
Oh, I'll lose my shit. He'll be
then Tom Cruise would have to be Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's a fucking weird world. I don't want to see it. I kind of do, but I don't at the same time. So,
but it's an interesting world.
Very, very. Would I want to live in it? Not really.
And knowing what you know now,
yes.
Tell me it wouldn't make sense for Mel Gibson to be Joker.
Oh no, that makes absolute sense. Dude, what? Mel Gibson as a Joker?
Back then, like Murtaugh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, from
as
fucking
Joker.
Lethal Weapon. Jesus Christ. Heath Ledger would not stand a chance. He would just be like, fuck it.
Okay, we're talking about the first Joker here. Heath Ledger took it to a totally different level.
No, that's what I'm saying. Heath Ledger, like right now, let's say they made Batman 1, and then we have Batman 2, 3, 4, 5, and now suddenly Heath Ledger's like, I want to do the Joker. Let's go back to when they actually made a proper Joker, and they go back to that one. He's gonna look at it, he's like, fuck.
They're gonna look at Mel Gibson and say, well, I can't be that crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, fuck, I'm gonna be the melodramatic
Okay.
fucking Joker
Okay.
in this fucking movie.
Okay. Now we're going down this path.
Go.
Let's say we cast Robert Downey Jr.
All right.
as the original Batman. We have Mel Gibson as a Joker. Who's
All
Vicky Vale?
Ooh.
No Nicole Kidman.
I'm saying we're
And
going
you're
in the
talking
80s.
about we're in the 80s. No Nicole Kidman. Who's Vicky Vale?
No. God, I can't think of a stunning woman at that time. Well,
I
no.
absolutely have the answer.
I can't remember. Go, please.
I absolutely have the answer, and it's going to make sense the moment I say her name.
Go.
Heather Locklear.
Yes. My God.
Alternate universe Willie.
Oh my
I was
God.
thrown-
That is everyone's heartthrob right there. When you're a young kid and all, you're like, oh
Actually-
my God, Heather Locklear.
Actually, my heartthrob back then was Heather Thomas.
Mine was Cindy Crawford. But then again,
Cindy Crawford? No, Cindy Crawford was later.
wasn't
when I
she
started,
like in the 80s, 90s ago, she started modeling.
She
and stuff?
She was. But Heather Thomas, because God, Heather Thomas. Afterwards, Cindy Crawford. Well, yeah. But Heather Locklear was more established. Because Cindy Crawford was just a model.
Yeah.
It's like saying Paulina Poroskova, who was my absolute heartthrob back then. Paulina Poroskova, when she married the lead singer of the Cars, Rick Ocasek, I'm like, you mean I have a chance? Nerdy people can be with hot chicks? But Heather Thomas, Heather Locklear, yeah, Vicky Vale, yes. Alternate universe Willie, absolutely nailed that.
All right, fine. And Willie, I'm gonna have to leave this up to our audience to let us know what do you think about everything that we talked about above and below, and let us know your thoughts. Talk to us. Comment down below. We're here for you. But as y'all know, this is the end of the show. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just so you come up with amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Willie, any last words?
Like, I went back in time to mess people up. So if anything I said about the past messed you up, I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
Nice. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Ah!